Hello and welcome to our daily Forex range bar chart market analysis. My name is Derek Schimming, and this review is for Wednesday, April the 3rd. Now today, like so many others this year, has been a great opportunity to be focused on and trading the yen pair, specifically the pound yen and euro yen. Looking at my currency strength chart, you can see that through the Asian time frame going into London, look here in light blue, which should really stand out in your view here, is the yen trying to find some strength. Now there was a pullback to the yen as we started the London time frame, but this in retrospect was really a healthy situation and an opportunity to put short trades on. You can see that later on in London into the New York time frame it really accelerated, but later on in London and through New York we've seen the yen finding and maintaining a significant amount of strength. Counter to that is the pound and euro here in pink and red. Now you can see they're fairly sideways with a slight downward bias. Now all that means is the yen is carrying the trade. These two are not working against a short trade in either the euro yen or pound yen, but they're not the leaders in the position. It is the yen that's leading those pairs and their charges down on the day. The dollar, a little poor economic data, a little bit maybe overheated over the last few days. We've seen the dollar taking a pretty consistent drip to the downside, although just after the equity markets opened, you see the dollar has been trading fairly sideways. Now looking at the two most significant pairs, again I'm going to suggest to you that that would be the pound yen and the euro yen. Looking at the pound yen, you can see that yesterday and today we have a lower high in my zone. We have lower highs in the zone again today. Even on Monday we were setting a lower high and going into the zone. Each day is identified by the adjustment of the pivots on screen. Now Thursday was the last video I recorded, and you can see that that Thursday movement, that when it was just trading below the pivot point, which I pointed out and suggested was an ideal situation, and it has proven to be that this week. Going into the holiday on Friday, the holiday on Monday, again we're seeing the pair set significant lower highs, each time coming from my zone, setting a new low and maintaining its downtrend, sitting at its lowest point on the week currently. When we look at the euro yen, I think this one's a little bit more significant, a little bit more tradable, and for full disclosure, I am still holding the position that I instigated on Thursday and noted in the video. That trade was taken just below the pivot point after dropping on the week, seeing that extreme volatility down here. This movement, which set a new low on the week, was attractive as it came up and it seemed to want to trade or stay below the pivot point. I viewed that as an entry opportunity and took advantage of the positioning of the pair last Thursday. Friday and Monday, very little activity, but it was to the downside. Obviously yesterday we've been setting, again, we're in the zone, coming out of the zone, setting new lows. We've gone up and tested yesterday's trade high here. The swing high yesterday was this test right up against 120, 120.14. We've done that again today, gone just over 120, 120.17 is the high trade on the day, but now we're back at the lows trading right at S1, and it's my belief or my anticipation that we can see this pair drop below or at least trade to this 119 range and hopefully get below it. Now to take a broader view, you know, I've been talking about these pairs for a couple of months now, been suggesting and trying to identify the topping or potential topping activity for you. And if you look at this on a broader stroke, if we go back, let me step it back just a little bit further. I'll go back to last summer and you can see that the pair, we get back to this May and June and July time frame, you can see that where it was bottoming out, and this had a very difficult time in June and July and August, even going in September, October. We had that consolidation in September, October because it had been rising, and just like we saw at the top, those that were short were looking at this as a shorting opportunity. Those were looking at saying, hey, maybe this is changing direction, seeing yen weakness overall. Maybe it's going to drive this pair higher, and that's exactly what happened. So you get the strong move to the upside in this range, but has a very difficult time once it got to any degree, moved up to any degree. We found a lot of consolidation, a lot of resistance in this 104 range. It's here when it moved through that in November that became significant. And quite frankly, I think the pair got just a little overheated through those last 6 months of trading to the upside. It's had a strong move, And we went from, if you consider this low is at 94, and remember this got almost to 128, 127.70 by our spreads, and you can see now what I've been pointing out over the last several months, or at least last couple of months, has been the significance it's an upward pattern. You can see I've marked the trend lines in black. I've marked the resistance up here, this double top, this 1-2, significant 1-2-3 pattern that you see in the pair now. You can see the extreme volatility, which means it's transitioning, a lot of buying, a lot of selling, a lot of collision of wills. You can see the resistance that's been put up there. And then I've marked these two support lines. There's more support than that, but it's just the fact that it's trading at the lows, that 120, and I'm marking that 118.71, which is this little tail low right here. If it takes out that low, I think that's pretty significant as well. So you can see the pattern. I think it looks a little bit more blatant when you step back. This is a daily view, looking at the pair over the last 6 months to 12 months, depending how far back I zip it in or out. So I think you can see the significance of the pattern that's up here and why I'm maintaining a short swing position in the pair. What happens if it breaks through this 119 level? Of course, the low at that 118.71 trade low is significant, but 118, 116, 114, 112, even 110. Not to say that it's going to go all the way down to 110, but as I've been alluding to, the fact is the potential does exist. We can look at some significant areas of support. Look at the support in here, the support at 116, a resistance there, support at 118. I mean, we can really start to look at some areas as targets to either trade to or trade from once those levels are met. I think it would be a more than ideal situation if the yen continues to find strength over the next month or two, and we'll be poised to take advantage of the situation that unveils. You know, if you want to do this in real time, if you want to work with us, you want to come into our trade room and watch what we do this type of analysis live and on a daily basis, you definitely have that opportunity. All you have to do is send in an email. Send it to info@fxrbc.com. You know, the whole purpose of these videos is to expose you to our style and our thought process so that if it seems to fit your style and where you would like to be in your trading, we would like to have the opportunity to help you. You know, you can definitely do this, and you can do it better than you are now. Everyone can learn and can modify their behavior. It doesn't matter if you've been trading for 2 months or 22 years. You have the opportunity to improve your behavior. And we'd like to bring you in our community to expose you to our simplistic process and help you identify what you're doing well, maybe help you even more so identify what you're not doing quite so well, so that you can modify that behavior and definitely become a better trader overall. Our methods are pretty straightforward and definitely simple, proven, and will result in positive results for you overall, and that is really the objective of trading. So if you're interested, send us an email to info@fxrbc.com. That's forexrangebarcharts.com. My name is Derek Schimming with forexrangebarcharts.com. As always, you guys and gals, have a great day trading. I'll see you on the floor.